right, good evening. Welcome to the New York State Fair on this beautiful Sunday evening. And more importantly, welcome to the New York State Police exhibit. My name is Chief Technical Sergeant Neil Case. Before we get started, I want to introduce our interpreter, Shannon. Thank you very much. Also, one of our divers over here, Trooper Bednaz. Yeah. All right, now let me introduce the rest of my crew to you. First, coming up behind the stage, or behind the tank, is my training coordinator out of Albany, Tech Sergeant Josh Cross. Oh, it's hot. Right, it's hot out. It's also hot for us. All right, next up is the Troop D, Assistant Senior Diver Trooper Jared Hogan. All right, come on. All right, next up is the Troop D Senior Diver Tech Sergeant Greg Ebro. All right, I'm going to forewarn you before we get started here. The next introduction, he's going to require a lot of energy. He's going to bring it to you. He's going to want to hear it back. So put your hands together for the host of your show, the Troop C Senior Diver Tech Sergeant Seth Little.
Yeah!
How we doing today?
Great!
Beautiful day to be by the pool, huh? So that being said, before I begin, this invitation goes out to everyone, adults, kids. If you guys want to come over and sit in the shade, all right, get a little closer to look at
front row seats.
That's right, front row seats right at the divers. Feel free. All right, just nice and orderly. Don't don't trip over the ropes. That's all I'm asking. Okay.
Come on up. Come on up and have
Yeah, go ahead and sit down right in front of the tank there. Get a front row seat. Right there. You'll be good.
I can't promise that.
All right. Okay, so while they're all sitting, I'm going to give a brief little history lesson of the New York State Police dive team. Our first dive as a dive team was logged in 1932. That makes us, we are the oldest public safety dive team. We're also one of the largest public safety dive teams in the whole of the United States, New York, right? Woo! All right, so back then we used hard helmets, we had canvas suits, lead belt, lead shoes. Altogether, the equipment was well over 100 pounds. Troopers did then what they continue to do. They used the equipment that they were issued, they get the job done, all right? But in 1943, there was a smart fellow by the name of Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau invented what we call the aqua lung, which is what we refer to as scuba. Scuba is an acronym. What does it mean? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Okay? So, with the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, it took hundreds of pounds of equipment and it reduced it down to about 40 pounds or so. It made divers a little bit more nimbly-pimbly in the water. They're able to move around a little easier. So in 1952, the New York State Police dive team decided they wanted to learn about this new technology. They wanted to learn from the best. So where did they go? They went to the Navy Dive School. They went through the Navy Dive School. They brought back the lessons that they learned. All right, and in 1957 we decided to adopt scuba as our preferred method of dive, and in the early 60s we actually started our own novice dive school. We took the lessons from the Navy Dive School, added some of our own experience. All right, but the fact is that this school is anything but novice. To become a trooper takes a lot of hard work and determination. These are people of great skill. But the fact is even when you have a pool of people with great skill, in order to get where these guys are, 2/3 of the people who try out for the team will wash out. They will not make it. These guys did, so let's give them a hand. Good job.
Hey Seth, I bet they're getting pretty warm up there.
Yep, that's good.
What do you say? It's good for them, right?
Yep, it's good for them.
Yeah, what do you say we get them in the water?
Sounds good to me. All right, so you guys want to see divers in the water? All right. All right.
Hey, before we do that, we should probably make it a little more difficult on these
Okay,
guys.
well, why don't we do what we do at novice dive school?
Yeah, let's.
All right.
We're gonna have you take that gear off, throw it in the water, we'll have you get dressed at the bottom of the tank.
That's right, and the reason that we do that in the school is because we want to make sure if divers are given the opportunity that they do not panic. Panic is what will kill a diver. It is what will hurt a diver. So we want to make sure that they can handle themselves underwater in any situation that we throw at them. All right. So, I think I see masks in hands. I don't understand.
Yeah, mask too. Come on.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Trying to cheat?
You know? Let's go. All right. So, the diver is a very competitive position. So without saying that this is a race, it's a race, okay? So we're gonna need a countdown. And so let's cheer him on. So we got Jared Hogan, the pride of D-Troop. Yeah, raise your hands, Jared. We can't see, there you go, all right. And then we got Josh Cross, the hero of H. So when I say go, we're gonna start from 3, 2, 1, and then we will yell dive. So go, 3, 2, 1, dive. All right, and there they go. All right, they're going down to their gear. First thing you will notice is that when they get to their gear, they're gonna quickly put that air in their mouth. Once they get that air in their mouth, everything can go according to plan, all right? Sometimes though you lose things. Sometimes you can't quite find things. And we have Josh Cross that says he was good.
Very close.
All
Close
right.
race, huh?
Yes, it was a close race. Let's give him a hand. Good job, fellas. That was quick. All right, so I want to explain to you some of the pieces of equipment that they have on. They have a scuba tank. That scuba tank holds 3,000 pounds of compressed air, okay? It comes out of that tank awfully quick, so we need a regulator. That regulator takes the 3,000 pounds of air, reduces it down to about 145 PSI. That then air goes down the line, goes to their second stage, which they put in their mouth, and they breathe that air on demand in the water. That tank is also attached to a BCD, a buoyancy control device. And so with that buoyancy control device, there are airtight bladders on that, all right? And so buoyancy, if you're positively buoyant, it means you go up. All right, so you will take air from that tank and add it to those bladders. If you are negatively buoyant, there are dump valves that you can release the air. These guys right here are neutrally buoyant. They're static. It's like they're in outer space. All right, they have the perfect measure of air in there. And because of that, the fins that are on their feet there propel them through the water with ease, okay? Their masks. Their masks are about a couple inches away from their face, right, as far as the lens goes. So when they actually look through their mask underwater, things are magnified, okay? When things are magnified, they see things 33% larger and 25% closer when you are diving underwater. Now, when we sent them in, they didn't have masks on. So guys, take your masks off, all right? That introduces water into the mask. Sometimes things happen, our masks can fall off or get pulled off. We just simply put the mask back on. And then we're gonna create just a little crack between the seal of the mask and our upper lip, and we will blow air out of our nose. When we do that, that air will go up, and then it will force the water out of the mask. You just recreate the seal, and you go about your business. That's some of the things that can happen while we're underwater. But the fact is there are other things, because we actually dive to depths before we graduate the school of 132 feet, okay? So you might ask me, I know you're tired, but you still might ask me what 132 feet looks like. All right, I know you're tired,
Oh, man.
but you might ask me what 132 feet looks like. All right, very good. So if you look at the top of this tower up here, that is 60 feet tall, okay? So that being said, add a whole nother tower on top of that, 12 more feet, that's 132 feet. Those are depths, and at those depths, those are pressures down there. You got the air pressure on top, pushing down on the water, plus all the pressure that is underneath there, and things can happen to equipment at that depth. And so we're gonna have Josh Cross, he's gonna demonstrate, what if something happens to our regulator, something goes wrong? He gets his buddy's attention. He doesn't panic, he gets his buddy's attention, his buddy comes over, he puts the air in his mouth, puts in his safety second, and then they're going to ascend at a rate of 30 feet per minute as to avoid the bends. They will do that the full 132 feet to the top, all right? And then they will decide once they get up there, are we gonna cancel the rest of the dive or are we gonna continue? Either way, we make sure that they are okay and they go home for the day. Those are some of the things that we've learned that are scuba related. Now, Our name, URT, Underwater Recovery Team, our motto is, if it's in there, we will find it. We are a search team, okay? So when we go in the water, our symbol, the octopus, we will move over the floor of whatever body of water just like an octopus. An octopus just hovers over everything, going into every crack, every crevice, and there's nothing that it doesn't touch. And so when we come up out of the water and our boss asks us, did you search everywhere? Our answer is 100%, yes we did, all right? So there is a line search that we use to make sure that we get the job done correctly. There's two variations, and I'm gonna show you that right now, and I'm gonna need a volunteer over here. I need a volunteer who wants to volunteer. All right, the red shirt up in the front there. Come on over, yep, you. All right, what's your name? Andrew, come on over, stand right over here. All right, Andrew, you are my land-based operations specialist. All right, so that being said, this line search, it's called a pendulum search. And what that means is I will go back and forth just like a pendulum on this line. Andrew will hold on to that line while I am diving. How are we going to talk to each other, Andrew? Pull that line. Pull it a couple times. All right. All right, this isn't a tug of war. I'll win. All right, so yes, he will pull that a couple times, and then I'll pull it a couple times back. All right, so now he knows that I know that it's time to move on with the pattern. All right, so now you just got to hold it nice and still, okay? We would use this if we were looking for something that was larger in a known body of water, or let's say if we were in a hurry and we had a lost diver, lives were at risk, we're here and going to go find my boss. So here I go, I'm diving, Andrew's holding on to that line. Andrew sees that I'm coming to the place here where I can't dive anymore, so he gives me a couple tugs, go ahead. All right, and then I give him a couple tugs back. Now, when I turn around, Andrew, go ahead and release, don't drop it, just release it a little bit so that I can have more line. There you go, just like that. Now nice and tight again, all right. So that being said, I turn around and I come back. And here he is, the lost diver in my pendulum search. All right, let's give Andrew a hand. Good job, Andrew. Take a bow, Andrew, take a bow. All right, very good. All right. So Andrew, you can go ahead and pick a prize from the box over there. Okay? So that's a pendulum search. The other line search that we do is called a jack stay. The reason it's called a jack stay is because the line stays put, it's static, all right? There are two weights that are attached to this line. You separate those weights, create tension on the line. It's a nice straight line. And the diver will put his hand on the line, and then he'll have one hand on the floor of whatever body of water he is looking for, moving just like an octopus. We're going to have Jared Hogan demonstrate that right now.
Yeah, before he gets started with that jack stay search, let's have him try on that training mask.
All right, the training mask is taped off. We introduced this to the novice divers early on. And so what it simulates is the water that we dive in. Okay? New York water doesn't look like that in that tank right there for the most part, okay? So, when you dive, you're diving in little to no visibility. And I think we're gonna need some evidence too, Greg. You got any evidence up there?
Ooh, service revolver.
Oh, old school. All right, there he goes. So, Jared is going to commence the search. And he's going, and he's got one hand on the line, like I said. He's touching everything along the way. Once he gets to the one weight, he'll move that weight over just a little bit. And as he comes back the other way, he'll cover some of the same ground, but also cover some new ground. And we'll see if he is fortunate enough, actually skilled enough, we'll say. And there it is, all right. He was born for this job. Let's give Jared a hand.
100% successful.
Yeah, I've never seen him miss that yet this fair. Very good, very good. All right, so what would we do though if what we're looking for isn't right on top of the ocean or river or whatever floor that we're looking at? What if it's in the muck? What if it's in the mire? Well, we have another tool for that, and I'm going to need another volunteer over here. All right, why don't you, right there with the pink tie-dye, yeah, right, yeah, yes. All right, we'll see. All right, what's your name? Kayla. Let's give Kayla a hand. All right. Kayla, do you know what this is? She knows it's a metal detector. Very good, Kayla. I'm impressed. All right. So, what's that? She's guessing. It was a good guess. All right, hold on to that. All right, so what is that detecting right now? It's detecting metal. It's detecting 30 years of marriage. That's what it's detecting, all right? That's why it's vibrating so strongly. All right, come on over here. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go back and forth over the water, just like you were following a line, like you're following a pattern. And as you're going over this, all of a sudden you will, wait, I think I felt something back over here, right? Oh, there it is. So what does that mean? There is metal in there. Absolutely, I'm not putting my hands in there. You go ahead. Oh, look at it, digging right away. Oh, what is that? She's not quite sure because it's a flip phone. All right, if it was a smartphone, we would know. All right, Kayla, very good. Everybody give her a hand. All right, Kayla, you can go ahead, go over and pick a prize out of the prize box there. All right. All right, so those are some of the tried and true and the more traditional ways that we search for things in the water. But as time goes on, technology evolves, right? So we got to evolve with it a little bit. And so we have some new technology here to show you this year. We have an underwater robot. Right up there on the screen, you'll actually see the camera of the underwater robot. Why would we use an underwater robot? Well, let's say that there's something in the water that we don't want to expose divers to. Or let's say we're cutting a hole in the ice and we want to send the robot down to make sure there's no entanglements or anything like that. The robot won't have his feelings hurt. All right, it won't get cold. And so there's the robot. Kids, wave to the robot. All right, adults wave back. Yep, there you go. All right, so that's the robot. Now that robot, what we're gonna have that robot do now is find us a piece of evidence. A four-wheeler was stolen. This criminal was not very smart though, because he wrapped it in neon orange straps. But that's okay. So boss, you're down there and look, there's the four-wheeler in HD. Okay, so the robot found what we were looking for. All right, now how are we going to get it out of the water? What do we need? What do we need? We need a diver. Okay? We still need people. All right? Do we still like people?
Yes.
All right, all right. I'm not convinced out here. Let's hear it for people. All right. One of the best people I know is up there right now, Greg Eberl. He's getting ready to jump into the water. Greg Eberl is on our surface supply air system, which means we supply him endless amounts of air, and we also have communications with him. So Greg, are you prepared to dive? All right. When you're ready, get in the water. Here he goes. All right, there he goes. All right. Touchdown, look at that. Superhero landing. Let's give him a hand. That was impressive. All right, so, Greg, now what are you going to do? He's going to get that robot out of the way. He's going to take a selfie on his way by here. Let's see here. Okay, all right. There you go. All right, Greg. So how are you going to get that four-wheeler out of there? You don't know? I think you do know. Let him say it. What do you think, Greg? What do I, okay. You are going to use science! Science! All right, he can't lift it on his own, all right? He skips leg day quite often. So he's got to use science. All right, he's got a lift bag in there. That lift bag will take the air from a hose that we send the air down, and then as that expands, it will lift whatever it is attached to, which brings us back to buoyancy, positive buoyancy. We just asked for bubbles. We're going to send them bubbles. All right. So once those bubbles go into that bag, you'll see the bag expand, and whatever that bag is attached to will go up. All right, Greg, your bubbles are going out the other side there. There you go. All right. No? There you go. Okay. All right. Good. All right. It's going up. Four-wheeler's going up. It goes up, he gets out of the way, so what goes up must come down, something goes wrong, let's give him a hand. Look at that hang time. I take everything back I said about your legs there. You did nail that. Very, very good. Very good. All right. So, not right now. So the boss has something to say. Take a seat.
Yeah, so the fact is, Greg really doesn't skip leg day because he just doesn't go to the gym. But he can do a flip in the water.
Oh, well.
And I bet if we get enough crowd participation here, we might be able to convince him to do that flip.
Greg.
He's ignoring us.
Come on. Come on, big guy. All right, here he goes.
See him do a flip?
All right, let's see what he does here. Here he goes. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, no. Now he's on his back like a turtle, not an octopus.
All right, so we do have a lot of fun out here. I just want to say a few things. These guys, every single time they go in the water, they're putting their lives on the line. Fact is, about a month ago, we spent nearly 4 weeks in the water looking for a piece of evidence. We covered over 6 acres of water, 240 dives in zero visibility water. That's a lot of opportunities for something to go wrong. These guys put their lives on the line every single time they go in the water, so if you could please all join me in thanking them. Thanks, guys.
All right, it has been my pleasure to be your guide on this underwater adventure. A couple things. 6 o'clock, there is going to be a mounted patrol, the horses demonstration right here, 6 o'clock, okay? Other than that, if you want to have a picture with this diver up here, he is known as the best poser in the New York State Police. All right? Now, if you want a face like my boss here, he's a handsome man, you gotta be born with that. But if you want New York State Police merchandise, over at the NYST tent or over at the Trooper Foundation, help support them. They support us. We would appreciate that. So, have a great day at the New York State Fair.